Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Well, welcome back to to my channel. And as you know, this is my third video for interpreting. And I'm sorry for the bad quality of the video. And I hope you understand what I'm talking. And especially, I hope you leave the comment below. So, without any further ado, enjoy the video and I don't know, give a like.
Loki, the Mischief Maker, was writhing uncomfortably in Thor's iron grip. The previous night, while the rest of the gods slept, he'd snuck up on Thor's wife Sif and shorn off her beautiful hair. It had seemed like a funny prank at the time, but now Thor was about to break every bone in his body. Loki had to think of some way to fix what he'd done. Yet who could replace Sif's matchless hair, golden like a field of summer wheat? The dwarves. Their legendary smiths could make anything, so Loki rushed to their realm, deep within the mountains of the earth. Even before he arrived, the wily Loki was already scheming how he would get the dwarves to do his bidding. He decided that his best bet was to pit two families against each other. He first visited the masterful sons of Ivaldi. He told them that their rivals, a pair of brothers named Brock and Atri, had claimed that they were the best craftsmen in the world and were determined to prove it in a competition. The rules were that each family had to create 3 gifts for the gods, including, for the Ivaldis, golden hair. Then Loki visited Brock and Atri and told them the same thing, only now claiming that the sons of Ivaldi had issued the challenge. But Brock and Atri couldn't be fooled so easily, and only agreed to participate if Loki put his own head on the line. Literally, if Brock and Atri won, Loki would forfeit his head to them. Loki had no choice but to agree, and to save himself had to find a way to make sure the sons of Ivaldi emerged victorious. Both sets of dwarves got to work. Atri set Brock to man the bellows and told him not to stop for any reason or the treasures would be ruined. Soon a strange black fly flew into the room. As a piece of pigskin was placed in the forge, the fly stung Brock's hand, but he didn't flinch. Next, while Atri worked a block of gold, the fly bit Brock on the neck. The dwarf carried on. Finally, Atri placed a piece of iron in the furnace. This time, the fly landed right on Brock's eyelid and bit as hard as it could. And for just a split second, Brock's hand left the bellows. That's all it took. Their final treasure hadn't stayed in the fire long enough. Loki now reappeared in his normal form, overjoyed by their failure, and accompanied the dwarves to present their treasures to the gods. First, Loki presented the treasures from the sons of Ivaldi. Their golden hair bound to Sif's head and continued to grow, leaving her even more radiant than before. Next, for Odin, the Allfather, a magnificent spear that could pierce through anything. And finally, a small cloth that unfolded into a mighty ship built for Freyr, god of the harvest. Then Brock presented the treasures made by him and his brother. For Freyr, they'd forged a golden bristled boar who'd pull Freyr's chariot across the sky faster than any mount. For Odin, a golden arm ring, which would make 8 more identical rings on every 9th night. And for Thor, a hammer called Mjolnir. Its handle was too short, and Loki smirked at the obvious defect. But then Brock revealed its abilities. Mjolnir would never shatter, never miss its mark, and always return to Thor's hand when thrown. Despite the short handle, the gods all agreed this was the finest gift of all. Remembering what was at stake, Loki tried to flee, but Thor reached him first. But before the dwarves could have their due, clever Loki pointed out that they had won the rights to his head, but not his neck, and thus had no right to cut it. All begrudgingly admitted the truth in that, but Brock would have the last laugh. Taking his brother's awl, he pierced it through Loki's lips and sewed his mouth shut, so the trickster god could no longer spread his malicious deceit. Yet the irony was not lost on the gods, for it was Loki's deceit that had brought them these fine treasures, and given Thor the hammer for which he's still known today. Want more Thor? See how he fares against a band of giants in this video.
Loki, si tukang pembuat onar menggeliat tidak nyaman dalam pencengkraman Thor. Malam sebelumnya, saat para dewa lain tertidur, ia menyelinap kamar istrinya Thor, Sif, dan memotong rambut indahnya. Lelucon tersebut tampak lucu pada waktu itu. Namun sekarang Thor berniat untuk mematahkan setiap tulang dalam tubuh Loki. Loki mencari suatu cara untuk memperbaiki ulahnya, namun siapa yang bisa menggantikan rambut Sif yang tak tertandingi, yang emas bagai lapanga, gandum yang menguning? Para kurcaci, jawabannya. Pandai besi legendaris yang bisa membuat apapun. Jadi Loki pergi ke dunia mereka di pedalaman gunung bumi. Bahkan sebelum ia tiba, Loki yang cerdik sudah merencanakan bagaimana ia akan meminta para kurcaci untuk melakukan perintahnya. Ia memutuskan bahwa keputusan terbaik adalah untuk mengadu domba kedua keluarga. Pertama, ia menjenguk anak Ivaldi dan memberitahu bahwa saingannya kakak beradik bernama Brock dan Eitri telah menyatakan bahwa mereka adalah pengrajin terbaik di dunia dan ingin membuktikan dalam sebuah perlombaan. Aturannya bahwa setiap keluarga harus memberikan hadiah untuk para dewa, termasuk untuk Ivaldi rambut emas. Lalu Loki mengunjungi Brock dan Eitri dan mengatakan hal yang sama. Hanya saja sekarang mengatakan bahwa putra Vivaldi yang meminta tantangan, namun Brock dan Eitri tidak bisa tertipu dengan mudah dan hanya setuju untuk mengikuti jika hadiahnya adalah kepala Loki. Secara harfiah, jika Brock dan Eitri menang, maka Loki harus menghadiahi kepalanya. Loki tidak punya pilihan untuk selain setuju. Dan untuk menyelamatkan dirinya, ia harus menemukan cara agar putra Ivaldi menang. Kedua pasang kurcaci mulai bekerja. Eitri menyuruh Brock untuk menjaga perapian dan menyuruhnya untuk terus bekerja, atau hadiahnya akan rusak. Seekor lalat hitam tiba-tiba terbang ke ruangannya saat selembar kulit babi ditaruh di dalam perapian. Lalat menyengat tangan Brock, tapi ia tidak bergerak. Lalu saat Eitri mengangkat sebatang emas, lalat menggigit lehernya, tapi tetap saja bekerja. Akhirnya Eitri meletakkan sebatang besi di perapian. Kali ini sang lalat hinggap di mata Brock dan menggigit matanya dan menggigit sekeras-kerasnya. Dan untuk sebentar saja tangan Brock meninggalkan perapian. Hanya itu saja hadiah terakhir kurang lama dalam perapian. Loki datang dalam wujud biasanya dan berbahagia atas kegagalan mereka dan menemani mereka untuk memberikan hadiahnya kepada para dewa. Pertama-tama Loki mempersembahkan hadiah putra Ivaldi, rambut Sif. Rambut emasnya menempel pada kepala Sif dan terus bertumbuh, membuatnya lebih indah dari sebelumnya. Selanjutnya untuk Odin, ayah para dewa, sebuah tombak yang bisa menancap pada apa saja. Dan terakhir kain kecil yang berlipat menjadi kapal agung untuk Freya, dewa panen. Lalu Brock mempersembahkan hadiah yang ia buat bersama oleh saudaranya untuk Freya. Mereka mengambil babi hutan berbulu emas yang menarik gerobak Freya lebih cepat dari kendaraan lain. Untuk Odin, sebuah cincin emas yang akan membuat 8 cincin lagi setiap malam ke-9. Dan untuk Thor, sebuah palu yang bernama Mjolnir. Namun pegangannya terlalu pendek dan Loki menyeringai melihatnya. Lalu Brock memperlihatkan kemampuan Mjolnir. Mjolnir tidak akan pecah, tidak akan pernah meleset, dan selalu kembali ke tangan Thor saat dilempar. Meski pegangannya pendek, para dewa sepakat bahwa ini adalah hadiah terbaik. Mengingat akan kepalanya yang dihadiahkan, Loki mencoba lari tapi Thor menangkapnya. Namun sebelum para kurcaci mendapatkan hadiahnya, Loki yang licik mengatakan bahwa mereka memenangkan kepalanya, namun mereka tidak memenangkan lehernya, sehingga dan tidak punya hak untuk memotongnya. Semua mengakui kebenaran, tapi Brok akan tertawa pada akhirnya. Lalu Brok mengambil penusuk saudaranya dan ia menusuk bibir Loki dengan menjahit mulutnya tertutup supaya dewa licik tidak membuat onar lagi. Namun ironinya tidak hilang pada para dewa. Keonaran Loki lah yang membawakan hadiah ini pada mereka dan memberikan Pak Thor palu yang masih terkenal hingga hari ini.